I'm cold. I'm cold. Did you hear that?
It was recorded.
On YouTube, we were recording. Hey, hey, hey. How's it going, everybody?
If you listen to us on YouTube, you would hear that Kristin is
I'm
cold.
cold.
Because she said it before.
Do you guys know it is spring break in Ohio for West Geauga schools? And
30
it's like
some degrees.
I was going to say a high of 45 all week.
Currently 35 degrees. It snowed. We made Tom cook outside tonight on the Blackstone in the snow.
This always happens to the poor guy.
He loves it. Don't let him.
He does like it, but he also likes to complain about it because he does have to cook in sub temperatures.
He'll be fine. Well, it started because I yelled at him tonight because I came home from work and actually the boys were home alone all day today.
Breaking news. Danna yelled at Tom.
Wait, we have to tell the Sam story by the way.
Again.
But I did yell at Tom. I was like, your sweatshirt, why is your sweatshirt in the middle of the living room? And he was like, well, because I'm preparing for when I have to go outside and cook you dinner in the cold.
That was nice.
It's fine. So it is spring break and
it's about the weather you expect when you stay home on spring break.
yes,
No sun.
My kids have yelled at me that we are the only ones not going
Well, the
anywhere.
Pattersons aren't going anywhere.
We're the worst parents ever. Jack and Olivia
Said that we're the worst parents ever.
worst ever for not going on spring break. I heard the whole shebang yesterday at the pancake breakfast.
Oh, come on, kids.
Oh yeah, they both told me how we're terrible parents for not
Terrible.
taking them anywhere.
They're getting a new barn.
Liv's
terrible.
not really getting anything. She's just. So we're going to Kalahari. I'm taking my kids on Wednesday.
Kalahari, you should really sponsor us for a one-night
For a
stay.
tetanus shot, please sponsor me because I'm pretty sure that's all I'm going to get out of Kalahari.
But Joe is
the
so
need,
excited.
The need for a tetanus shot.
Joe has a friend over, and they are watching us live here in the studio.
Hi, do you want to come on?
Hey, Vinny. Hey, Joe.
Joey's here. Say hi.
Joe is here.
You're on camera now.
He's the cutest and youngest
This is
Racy
Vinny.
there is.
Vinny, you have to come over here.
You have to come over here, Vinny.
There you go, buddy. Yep,
Vinny
now
is
you're on
also the
camera.
youngest.
He's the youngest in his family.
Vinny is a wrestler.
Yeah? Do you like wrestling? Yeah.
When he goes to Ohio State to wrestle, we can say we had him on the podcast one time.
When you're a big shot, we'll know who you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite sport, Vinny?
Football.
You're a big baller, too.
Are you guys going to play each other this year, aren't you, in your teams?
Wait, are you on separate teams?
They are because he's on Dave's team.
Oh, you're on
Vinny's
Dave
on Dave's
Kosis's
team. Yeah.
Oh. Vinny, how'd you get on Dave's team?
We had the opportunity, but Joey needed to be with his other buddy because I need a carpooler. So,
That works out well. But
yeah. I needed Joey to
good
get a
luck,
ride.
Vinny, for being on Dave's team.
You've been on Mr. Kosis's team before, right? 3 times.
3 times. You're returning Kosis's team.
He keeps coming back.
My first year at tackle, then my second, then
What do you think of your coach?
Do
Do
you
you
like
like your
him?
coach?
He's a good coach.
Do you win?
They do win.
kind of.
Kind of.
You won the championship last year, didn't you?
No, that was on my dad's team.
Wait. Time out. Your dad coaches and you're not on his team?
Wait, no. You guys won the flag football championship last year. Yeah.
I was saying-
yeah, you won.
Your dad coaches a different
Yeah, your
age.
dad coach it's different. Yeah.
My team was not good.
Your team was not good, Joe. You're right. Your team was not
Joey, you need to get better parents.
Flag football at its finest in Chesterland, Ohio. Thank you, Lions Club.
Speaking of flags, you've been flagged.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that was such a good segue. I have to tell this story. So I received an email this week. You guys will appreciate this. So for those of you that are not aware, maybe you're a first-time listener. I have a 13-year-old son at West Geauga Middle School.
Maybe we shouldn't tell the school.
I'm telling it because I am.
They're not gonna
I'm a
sponsor
little
us.
I don't think they were sponsoring us to begin with. I'm a little frustrated.
I feel like they're very thorough.
I would say thorough to a fault. So I received an email this week that said, and when I began reading the email, I assumed this was sent out to the district. It was a very generic email. It was explaining that when children search things on Chromebooks or school-oriented devices, that the district has the right to review them. So I just thought it was like some type of thing that was sent out, and then I began to read a little further, and it gave an exact date, and it listed my son's name. And so it said Sam Geraci was flagged for something he
Searched
said.
on Google.
He searched. I actually was going to look up the email to get the exact words. I don't remember what it was, but nonetheless,
I think I've heard this enough times. I could probably
I know
quote
you could
the assistant
probably say
principal.
what it was because you've heard me tell this story a million times over. But nonetheless, it said that the reason that he was flagged was he Google searched. Are you ready for this? Why do my parents make fun of me?
So in your defense, like my husband actually told me this. story before you did.
I was standing with Bill when I received this email.
And so I start like laughing out loud because I'm like, well, they do.
we do make fun of him.
We
So
all
then-
do. Not me, actually. I actually not a maker fun
to
or ever.
preface this story, I have 3 kids. I have a very sarcastic and dry sense of humor, if you have not figured that out yet. And out of my 3 kids, all of my kids can relate or respect, I would say, my sense of humor. They kind of just know how to deal with me. But
They've grown up with you.
They've grown up with
their
me.
genetic
My
mass is
son,
most half of
Sam,
yours.
Yes, my son Sam is the most like me personality-wise. As far as he is very quick-witted, he is very like he can take a joke, nothing bothers him.
I feel like this
He's
is Olivia
thick-skinned.
too.
She is too. They are very similar, but he is even more so. Like he can, when they say like you can dish it out, but you can't take it. Like we can take it. Like we can take it. We can dish it out.
She
we're good.
thought.
So I thought. So I'm like, why would Sam Google this? Like, oh my gosh, all these years, like we make jokes like, oh, Sam, like if he had a bad golf round, we'll be like, oh, you really stunk the place up, you know, like as a joke. He kind of like laughs at it. We thought we were all in agreement here. So now I'm panicking. I'm at work. This is last Thursday. I'm at work and I'm there the whole day. And so I'm like, I can't like leave and deal with this. There's nothing to deal with, right? Like I can't do anything. Like I received this email and I'm feeling like the absolute worst parent. Like what kind of parent
So
makes
watching
fun
this
of
all
their kid?
play out, like she really was sweating it.
I was sweating it. I was. And I mean, I joke with my kids, but I do actually like them. I did forget to pick
Did
them up
everybody
tonight.
hear that? Danna actually likes her children.
I do,
This
but
is
I
breaking news.
I forgot to pick one of them up tonight. But not the same kid, by the way, same kid. He's middle child. So,
And he did come walking in the door, and he's like, and you wonder why I search things
he
on
planned
Google.
that out. He discussed
Yeah.
it on the way
Yeah.
home, what he was
He
going
knew.
to say. So so I emailed back. I, called my husband and I'm like, oh my gosh, did you just see that?
'Cause he got the same email.
He received the same email. So he's like, oh my, and now he is immediately going, first of all, Sam would never type that in. He's too smart to type anything into a school computer.
He would have used his iPhone.
Right. That's what he said. He goes, I'm sure one of his friends, which in the email, it did say that the assistant principal spoke to Sam regarding this and that Sam said one of his friends did it as a joke. It was not serious, but he was refusing to state which friend it was. So I emailed back to the assistant principal. Thank you for bringing it to our attention. We obviously take this very seriously, but I wanted to speak to her before I spoke to Sam.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, I wanted to like get her read on it. So I said, is there any possibility you could call me this afternoon, after school? So my phone rings like 3:00. I'm at the market. She calls me and she's like, hi, Miss Tracy, blah, 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 the typical. And I said, I'm kind of embarrassed. Also, to know me is to love me. When I'm uncomfortable, I crack super inappropriate jokes. Like, I will laugh at your funeral. I am sorry. It's who I am. It's
You
what
laughed
I
at your
do.
grandma's funeral.
I laughed at my grandma's funeral. It's what I do. So she's telling me who she is, why she's calling, the situation at hand. And I think to say, well, it's not like we like beat him or anything. And it is dead silent. She did not think I was as funny as I thought I was. And I was like, and I'm like, oh my God, thinking to myself, like, just please stop talking. Just stop talking. Just stop talking.
Meanwhile, on the back end, Bill is like getting her so
He
worked
has me
up.
riled.
He's like, they're gonna have to call CCPS. Like,
He's like,
they're gonna have to call the
CPS.
child
He
psychologist.
goes, I'm sure it's protocol that they would call in the child psychiatrist from school. Like they will do this. Like,
when he
they
said
probably have
CCPS,
to.
I'm like, slow your roll here.
I started panicking. I'm like, oh my God, they're really gonna.
And I would like to say I was the voice of reason
You
here.
were.
I'm like,
You
you
were.
are fine.
No, you were, because I was upset just because I felt guilt, but then I started getting like, oh my God, am I gonna have to like defend my parenting? Like, which it's not. I don't have a lot to defend, so I was like panicking.
And then Bill
So-
started worrying because he's like, well, I kind of made fun of him
He
about
said
his
the same.
girlfriend.
I said, what if this was actually like, why do my parents'
Friends.
friends make fun of me?
Well, definitely, I do not make fun of Sam. He would attest to
so
that.
he
I'm
would
free.
he would attest to that. So
I always say you can come live with me if you can't handle
honestly,
the
if you
abuse
don't
here.
feel safe, it's like a blink if you don't feel safe situation. So I'm like, talking to the principal, and I make this awkward joke, and it didn't go over well, and it's silence. And also, P.S. This is the day before spring break. Okay, the next day is the first day of
Because
break.
they're really freaking out. Like, this kid's got to go live with these people
Literally,
for 7 full days.
She said it to Sam apparently, and she also said it to me on the phone. We didn't want to release him to his parents if he didn't feel safe
I
at home.
shouldn't be laughing. This is a
I'm
serious
not even
situation.
kidding. This is what
You could
happened.
have been one less kid on spring break.
I could have been, so I don't know that this would have been a bad situation. But I was panicking now at this point. And I said, let me ask you a question. I said, did you feel when you were talking to him that he felt serious about this? Like, what was your read on him? Like, did you feel that he was very nervous, like, or uncomfortable with his family? And she goes, oh my gosh, no. She goes, he was laughing in my office. In fact, there were other searches done on his Chromebook.
These are good too.
And they
the second
said-
one is sad, by the way.
It's super sad. It says, why does my papa not tuck me in at night anymore?
So I'm like, that is sad.
And then the third one was, why is my poop green?
That made it less sad.
Okay, so now that is the dead giveaway that you've got a bunch of 13-year-old
Pranksters.
boys, right? So apparently this all happens in real time. So they receive this red flag alert in the office that this has been, searched. And she immediately calls down to the classroom that he is in and speaks to the teacher. And the teacher says, Sam is at the board. He is not by his Chromebook. I don't know how he could have searched that.
This really makes their whole system kind of a joke. 'Cause these kids are searching
So this
things.
is actually the conversation Sam and I just had. Is it turns out kids are putting things into other people's Chromebooks because they think it's funny. And they know that it's going to flag the system, which, to be clear, I cannot believe that our system is so sensitive that it needs to say,
It's all
why are my
AI.
parents? It is all AI for sure. But like, what in AI is generating that like my parents make fun of me? Like,
so I feel
such a
like
silly
West
thing.
Geauga should be super proud of their kids that at age 7th grade at
They
the
figured it out.
the intellectual level that they are knowing that the things that
This
they're
is gonna
typing in are
flag it.
triggers.
Yeah, it's gonna
because
flag
they
it.
are kind of sad things.
Yeah. So
No parent should make fun of their kid.
So she clearly did not feel, I can't state that that's true, by the way, because I do definitely make fun of my kids, but I'm building a little bit of tough skin. She was not upset in the situation because she felt that she knew it was a joke, especially once the teacher confirmed that Sam was not at his Chromebook. And Sam kept telling her, it's a friend of mine is playing a joke. And she was like, well, what friend? And he wouldn't tell.
And Tom was proud because he didn't rat out his buddy.
Long story short, we come to find out he did know who it was. He told us who it was. He was like, I said, well, why didn't you tell the principal? She was upset that you're not telling her. And he's like, I'm not a rat. I'm not a narc. He's like, I'm not going to rat him out. So we were a little like, you know what? We had a conversation about when it's appropriate to tell on
Right.
someone because there are circumstances. Someone's
There
in
could have been a
danger.
kid who got into
For
his
sure.
computer that
For
needs some
sure.
help.
Absolutely. And in that
We are not
circumstance,
downplaying, nor are we
bullying is
condoning
a
any of those
thing,
things.
Yada, yada, yada. It wasn't in this circumstance. And I think that any normal human being could see that. So my concern and what my suggestion to West Geauga schools is while this is an automated email that goes out immediately once a trigger is set
Oh, so
off,
it was all automated?
it was an automated email.
Totally automated.
So she's saying, now I don't understand how it could be totally automated because it is pre-filled with specific information regarding Sam.
but then it had Sam's, yeah.
So I don't know about that, but she said it
It's
was
probably a
pre-filled.
template that they.
That's what I think it is.
yeah.
I think it's a template. But it would not hurt if you're
It's
if
not
you
like
are
the pre-filled
required-
letter that says that your kid's going to get taken away from you because you missed too much school.
because you missed too much school, which we also get that every year. To be clear, that's
We
one
do
that
too.
comes home every
We do
year.
too.
But my thing is if the district knows that this is an automated letter that's going to be sent out, to give a phone call or send an additional email, send
Yeah.
something so that a parent is not nearly in tears all day thinking.
Well, Dana was sweating it out. I mean, it was
I-
kind of comical on this side. It
That's
was
not
maybe a
funny.
little torture on the adult end.
It really was. I was like panic stricken that like not even the like I know we're joking about like, oh, your kid getting taken away, but the fact that there was
joked about
any
that before.
Right. I mean, that's a possibility. But like the fact that there's any possibility that my kid would ever feel that way, like in all
Is bad.
seriousness, is
Yeah.
terrible. And I would never want my kid to feel that way. And I was genuinely panicking that that was the case. Like,
Yeah.
that was my bigger concern is that this kid potentially felt that. And he didn't feel that. And like, I almost like the school knew that this was not the case and
Right.
let this carry on all day. And I was like a little annoyed with that. But I do understand they have to do their job and yada, yada, yada. But that was my
Very stressful
crazy
moment.
flag moment of the week. I took up 90% of the podcast talking about it. So
It's fine. We're going to talk about something else. Was it our like parenting?
know
What
what
was
it
it? What was it?
So we spent this past Saturday at Kristen's niece's third birthday
No, I thought it was
party.
something else besides that.
Miami.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about it
yeah.
there.
Okay. Yeah, that's it.
So Kristen, okay, so well, first of all, Kristen and Bill get to be like the fun aunt and uncle. Their kids are older, and
We are. It's
their,
so fun.
Their nieces and nephews are much younger on Kristen's side, and
It took a while for my children, my
Your
siblings, to find their mates.
And so their 3-year-old niece asked to have a birthday party at their house, and they invited us, which was so kind.
Well, we're like, if you don't have anything better to do, you can come to the Mermaid party.
When I tell you my husband searched for something better to
this
do,
doesn't say a lot for you guys.
I mean, he really looked, and we have no other friends. We've really come to that
You do.
point.
They were just all on vacation.
Everyone's on vacation.
But
So-
let's just say, I think it is fair to say that you guys had a blast.
We had a better time than we anticipated having. There is zero
It was
question.
the most fun Mermaid 30-year-old birthday
It was
party
a mer
ever.
party.
Mertastic.
But so one of the things that we discussed is, I don't know how we got on the subject that night, but Kristen said, oh my gosh, it would be so fun if we...
Oh, I know how we did, because we were previously at a sheep show, and Campbell and I went to dinner with my friend Kathy, who's 2 of her 3 children went to Miami.
Okay.
And we were discussing it with Campbell and talking about Miami.
So
Great
Kristen
place.
says, oh my gosh, it would be so fun to do a road trip and take the girls to
To Miami.
And I'm like, heck yeah, we should
She's
go
like
to Miami.
overly excited. I'm
I
like,
am in, and she realizes how excited I am.
and I'm like Miami University,
like
right?
Miami
you
of
know
Ohio.
that. And she deflated. She's like, what?
So this is the difference in our friendship. I thought we were going to Miami, Florida to rockstar life.
Pitbull, here we come.
I was in.
I love Pitbull, by the
So
way.
do I.
Yeah.
Yes. But I really thought we were going to like
Go see Pitbull
go
in
live
Miami.
my dreams.
No.
And
Miami
she wanted
University.
to go to Oxford, Ohio.
Oxford, yeah. Oxford's the breed of a sheep, too.
Great, of course it
In case
is.
you wondered.
I didn't. To go to Miami of Ohio, which, to be clear,
Great university.
I've been to that campus. It's beautiful.
She's partied it up there. The one bar in town.
I actually remember when my best friend's sister got accepted there, the one thing that everyone was so excited about at Miami of Ohio, heated sidewalks.
Well, and if you go too far to the other
Heated.
side of campus, you end up in the cornfield. So
Yeah,
it's a real
there's
safe
not-
place.
It's one or the other there. So our views very much differed. I got to, so apparently a thing at Kristen's family parties is, so they're very into bull riding at
Only because of Jack.
at the Patterson household, because Jack's bull riding.
It was
And
Mer
so
bull riding.
little-
Everything was Mermaid
little
party.
Archie, her 5-year-old nephew, was riding.
It's actually not even. Yeah, I guess
Is
he
he
was
5?
5.
He's 5, yeah. So Parker and Jack are, the cool older boy cousins, like so sweet. They are really so great with these kids. And they were literally having Archie like climb on top of their back and like pretending they were the bull, and they had
This
to
has
like,
happened multiple
yeah, it
get-togethers.
was definitely not the first rodeo I
Yeah.
could tell. Oh, that actually worked.
Yeah,
a
that
bit.
was good.
That was good. You like
Clever.
that? Ba-dum-bum. And so Jack convinced me I should be the bull.
To be the bull. I
and
missed
let-
this. I had to watch this on video.
Right, and let Archie like ride on top of my back. And I'm like, I was going to say something else, but I decided to say it better.
Inappropriate.
Yeah, super
Yeah.
inappropriate. Kristen's mom was there, and so she fortunately...
My mom happens to really like Danna.
She does.
I
I'm
don't
not
know
sure
why.
why. So she did get a video
If
of it.
if you were my mom's daughter, she would not like you.
It's because I'm like the crazy friend that
My
like...
dad just called at 9:04, and my mom was yelling at him for calling me because she's like, Kristen and Bill will be in bed. They go to bed so early. Do not call her.
It is late. It's 9:40 right now on a Monday night. We're crazy.
Ooh. We have no kids either.
Yeah, and you're
ruining
here.
my
And you're
single
here.
no kids night.
So it is 9:40, and this is what she's upset about. But so anyway, so I decide to be the bull, and Kristen's mom gets it on video. And Archie, if you guys can picture this, I'm down on all fours. He has climbed onto
should
my
post the
back.
video.
I have no shame if you post it. I don't even care because I think it's so funny. He
So cute
proceeds
and
to
innocent.
grab onto me under my arms.
He's written. It's not his first rodeo. He knows what to
He
do.
knew how to hold on. And what was different about me than Jack and Parker was there were handles underneath my arms to grab onto. So if you can picture where he was grabbing
he got a good
on,
grip.
He got a grip. He got more grip than my husband normally gets. Like,
And it's on
he-
video.
And Kristen's mom videoed the entire
Actually,
thing.
you're his first base.
Oh, he got to first base with me. That's great. That's super inappropriate. That made it even worse that you just said that. That's great.
so funny.
And we just went to an X-rated podcast. So yeah, and at one point I like proceed to try to literally buck him
Well, she
off of
stands
me.
up
So
and
I
kinda
stand up,
shakes.
and he is. When I tell you guys, if you're watching on video, I'm showing you right now. So this will get you to go watch the video. I'm literally showing you where his hands were, and he held on for dear life.
And he got his 8-second ride.
He did. He got 8 seconds.
He won the championship.
Also more than my husband does sometimes. So, sorry. Just kidding. Just kidding.
That's terrible.
I'm kidding.
Okay,
I felt like it was too
moving
appropriate.
moving on. This mermaid party, probably the most, well, that was totally inappropriate. Totally the most fun part was that Ariel, the Little Mermaid, made an appearance.
It was pretty exciting.
Well, it was pretty dramatic.
So
I'd like to say that Campbell is not a dramatic teenager, but there were a lot of things. Like, she was definitely...
So I think, okay,
It was very
Campbell
dramatic.
dressed up as Ariel, which, to be clear, she looked
She looks
freaking
beautiful.
adorable. I think she got intimidated because
Olivia and Vinny
and
came.
her boyfriend Vinny came right at the time that Campbell was getting ready. And to be clear, they were both incredibly supportive of it, and they were like,
They were.
"Oh my
Olivia's
gosh,
like, I'll wear the costume.
you look great! Like you look great."
And she realized she was being dramatic.
She felt very, I think, probably a little self-conscious just about it, and like, which is understandable.
It was the wig. She didn't want to wear the wig.
The wig?
The wig.
The
It was
wig
the
was
red
the least
hair.
of it.
That's what she didn't
That's
like.
quite funny. But she
But it
had,
wasn't
like,
her.
She had like a little
She's
bit of.
never dying her
I don't
hair
want to
red.
even call it like a meltdown because it wasn't a meltdown. But
It
she-
was a
Okay, I was
meltdown.
trying to be polite.
It was a
trying to be nice.
meltdown.
It was a meltdown. At one point, there's actually a great picture on your sister's phone. Your sister and I went into the bathroom to try to like quote calm her down, and she lunged at Jesse at one point, and Jesse got it on camera. And Campbell's like, "You have to delete that right now." And Jesse's like, "All right, I promise you, I'll delete it right now." And she goes to delete it off her phone, and her phone died.
It
It was like the worst timing
was
possible.
But so here's the thing, like, so somebody said
See,
the
you're
other
making
day.
fun of your kid. I'm just saying, someone call CPS.
I do. So someone the other day said, Campbell, is there like literally nothing that embarrasses you? And she's like, no, I don't really get embarrassed. And then she's like, Mom, should I be embarrassed about like some of these things? Like, I think it made her
It
self-conscious.
made her question.
Like, should I be embarrassed about some things?
What, like, was there an
I
example?
forget what it was that they had said. It was something that she did. And they're like, oh, well, yes, because she drives a Subaru. And they call it the Lesbaru.
It is the Lesbaru.
And
But I'm going
so-
to say that to anyone that drives. My mom drives a Subaru.
Right. So it's like the Lesbaru. There was that, and there was something else at school. And she's like, no, I don't really get embarrassed. But then I think she's like, I feel like I should be embarrassed. And I'm like, listen.
What's cool
this
about
fits-
Campbell is that
She's
she
never
doesn't-
embarrassed.
But it's not even
And the
just
friend
about-
that said this did not even mean it in a bad
No,
way.
but it's not even about being embarrassed. It's this
weird
self
confidence that she
confidence
has, but is
and
definitely reinforced by her
I
parents.
was actually going to say almost like a self-security. Like
Yeah.
she is so comfortable in her own skin. Look this is who I am. Take it or leave it. And there are not very many 16, 17, 18-year-old kids that can stand up and say, you don't like it, too bad.
Yeah.
I'm not here for you. I'm here for me.
And I know Campbell and her friends listen, so I will say about that, like on the other side is while Campbell comes across that way and she really does feel that way, she also has the reinforcement behind it. Like
She has a home life that supports
that we
it.
support that.
Yeah.
We're like, doesn't matter. Doesn't
Right.
matter. Somebody doesn't like it, doesn't matter.
It doesn't
it's
matter.
you. Like you be you.
And we talk about this at home a lot. Like, it's very easy to say that kind of stuff, but to reinforce it. And like, I know, like, I'm terrible at it. Like, Olivia will have an issue with someone. Let's say, for example, I'm nothing specific. I'm just, if there's something, and I will be like, you don't need this person, or you're fine, or whatever. And then I'm the biggest person to be like, did you talk to them? Is everything okay? Like,
Yeah.
And that's not the right thing to do either. It's such a hard age to like
It
know
is.
if you're doing the right thing. But Campbell is I hate to say
She's a different kid. I feel like she's a lot like me. Like she really is. Like
She
when
is,
I was that
but
age.
I don't, and I'll be honest, I don't think that is the quote norm.
No, I don't think she is a
of
normal
a
kid.
17-year-old kid. And
Yeah.
and I wish that I wish more kids were like that. I do.
And it's hard. But it's hard for them to be that way. But by a friend saying that I told her they admired that.
100%.
Like they realized that they admired.
That's an envious comment. That's an envious
The
comment.
person that said it like totally didn't mean anything by
No.
it. But I feel it like was a little self-conscious of
Listen,
the red wig.
as a 42-year-old
And
adult,
she was having a meltdown.
I wish that
Campbell, you were having a meltdown.
You were, but I was trying not to say it because I was trying
She
to be
was.
nice. But you were.
And then she was fine with it because I said, okay, my sister was actually like, I won't share any
Well,
pictures.
she kept saying, don't post photos. And then yesterday morning, this is actually really funny. We're way over on time, but that's okay. Yesterday morning, we had the pancake breakfast. I was with Jack and Olivia there, and they were discussing, oh my gosh, Kristin posted the photos.
Yeah,
Campbell's
she
gonna
said it
have
was
a heart
okay.
attack.
No, she said it was good.
Well, that's my point, is 12 hours later,
It was
wasn't a
actually
big
like
deal.
4 hours later. Not that night.
It
Like
probably
she
was
realized
like an
how
hour later
ridiculous
that
she
was
was.
fine. Yes, she was totally fine.
Yeah, she was fine.
And it was honestly such a cool thing to do for her little cousin.
And Olive was so
Oh my
excited. Like
gosh,
she,
it was
like Archie was
awesome.
so glad that Parker and Jack were there, and Olive just loves them too. And Olive just loves Campbell.
So I don't think that teenagers realize the impact they have on
little
littles.
kids.
So my niece is 7, and she will literally, when we go there, is Olivia coming? And now Olivia has a boyfriend who we love, to be clear. Like, I absolutely adore her boyfriend. But Lily, my niece, will say, is Vinny coming? And it's not that she doesn't like Vinny. We actually think she has a little bit of a crush on him. Her issue is that she wants Olivia all to herself.
Yeah.
Like, she idolizes her.
Yeah.
And these teenagers, I hope that they realize, like, the
impact that they can have on little kids.
Yeah, you totally
Especially
can.
with like volunteering and doing different things. Listen,
sure.
I had to move where I was sitting at the pancake breakfast
Yes.
because Archie said, Aunt Tintin, which is what they call me
Which
when they
I
want
adore.
something.
Yeah.
I want to sit by Olivia.
Yeah.
So I had to move my pancake breakfast over by Danna so that Archie could sit
Didn't
by Olivia
realize that was such a punishment, but
at
okay.
the pancake breakfast.
Well, and Olivia volunteers. She does. They have a volleyball camp that they do for the littles in the summer. There is a little girl that came up to her at a football game and said, "Oh my gosh, it's Coach Olivia!" And this little girl was in the market like 2 weeks ago, and she knew that I was her mom, and the mom was like, "This is your daughter's biggest fan." Like, these kids, like,
it means a lot when they volunteer and spend their
really
time.
do. So just if you're a teen listening, really know what
when
kind of
you
impact
volunteer, you have a lot of little eyes watching you.
Yeah, even if it's just for your cousins and you're making someone's day,
And you're wearing a red wig. It's okay.
it's fine.
The things you do. We
You
are
don't look-
way over.
You don't look bad in red.
No, you look good in red.
You look
sissy.
great in red.
She's probably going to be mad at me because we talked about it on the podcast now.
Oh, geez, Louise. Get over it.
Okay, until next time, friends, we're Mismatched.